Today, we're going deep. We're going to explore the philosophical bedrock of Ayurveda to unpack what is basically its theory of everything. It's this one single elegant concept called Dravya. And trust me, it's a system for understanding, well, everything: the cosmos, your health, and even your own mind.
Okay, let's just start with a big question. I mean, really think about it for a second. A star burning millions of miles away, a simple rock on the ground, and a thought, just a fleeting idea in your head. What could those three things possibly have in common? They seem totally unrelated, right?
Well, Ayurveda's answer for thousands of years has been actually, they have everything in common. And the answer is found in this one powerful concept: Dravya. You can think of it as the ancient science of substance, a kind of blueprint for understanding what anything truly is at its core. So, to really wrap our heads around this, we have to start at the beginning. What exactly is Dravya? Because it's way more than just stuff or matter. It's the very foundation of reality itself.
Okay, so here's the classic definition you'll find in the texts. Dravya is the substratum. Think of it like a container. And what does it hold? It holds qualities, which are called guna, and it holds actions, or karma. But the most important part is this idea of it being the co-inherent cause. That just means that the substance and the thing made from it can't be separated.
That might sound a little abstract, but this analogy makes it super clear. Just look at a simple ball. The ball itself, the physical thing, that's the Dravya, the substance. Now, its red color, that's its guna, its quality. And its ability to roll, that's its karma, its action. The key takeaway is, you can't have redness or rolling just floating in midair. They need the ball to exist. The ball is the container.
And this just hammers that point home perfectly. You can't have a pot without clay, right? It's impossible. The clay is the substance that the pot depends on for its very existence. They are inseparably linked.
Okay, so if Dravya is the container for everything, what are the fundamental containers themselves? This is where it gets really cool, because Ayurveda basically created a map of all reality, all based on this single idea.
And the system is actually pretty elegant. It doesn't just throw everything into one big pile. It starts with one powerful move. It splits everything that exists into just two fundamental categories.
And here's that whole map laid out. Now, it might look a little complex at first, but it all flows from that one simple split right at the top. Everything in existence is either a causal substance, the eternal building blocks, or it's an effect substance, which is, all the temporary stuff that's made from those blocks.
So the big question is, how many of these eternal, fundamental, causal building blocks are there? The ancient sages gave a very precise answer. There are 9.
And this is so important. The idea is that everything in the entire cosmos, whether you can see it and touch it or not, is some kind of combination of just these 9 eternal substances. Now, the first 5 are probably going to sound pretty familiar. They're the Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 great elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth.
But it's the other 4 substances that really make this philosophy so mind-bending. Let's move on, because this is where the system goes way beyond just the physical world.
Yeah, this is where it gets really profound. We're talking about things that we normally think of as just abstract ideas, like time or direction or even the mind and the self. But in this worldview, they are considered fundamental substances. They are every bit as real and as foundational as earth and water. So take time, or kala. It's not just a passive clock ticking on the wall. No way. In Ayurveda, time is seen as a tangible, active force. As this quote from the ancient Sharka Samhita says, it is the substance that actively causes change, aging, and transformation in everything else. And then there's Atma, the self. This is the big one. It's considered the substance of consciousness itself, the silent, eternal witness inside of us. So how do we know it exists? Well, through its qualities. The fact that you can experience desire, pleasure, pain, effort, memory. That very experience is considered proof of this underlying substance that lets you be aware of anything at all. Okay, I know, this is some seriously deep philosophy, but this is the moment where it all becomes incredibly practical. Let's connect this cosmic map directly to your body and your health. So you might be thinking, what does a grand theory of everything have to do with my day-to-day health? Well, the connection is not just profound, it's direct. And here is the giant leap, the core principle. As is the macrocosm, so is the microcosm. Basically, there's no real difference between the universe out there and the universe inside you. If the cosmos is built from these 9 substances, then guess what? So are you. And boom, here is the payoff. This is where it all clicks into place. The famous 3 doshas, the cornerstone of Ayurvedic health, they're not some abstract idea. They are direct, tangible expressions of those 5 great elements. Vata, the energy of movement, is literally made of space and air. Pitta, your metabolism, is made of fire and water. And Kapha, your physical structure, is made of earth and water. Your unique constitution is just your unique mix of these universal substances.
So you see, this whole thing isn't just theory for the sake of theory. It is the absolute bedrock of Ayurvedic practice. A diagnosis is all about figuring out which elements are out of balance in your body. And the treatment? It's the art of using another substance, like a specific herb or a type of food that has the right elemental qualities to bring your own system back into harmony.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? When you really start to see the world through the lens of Dravya, it completely changes how you look at everything. The world, your health, and your own place in it all.
Your whole perspective just shifts. You stop seeing a world full of separate, disconnected things, and instead, you start to see this one unified field of substances all interacting with each other. A medicine, a food, the season, even your mood. They're all speaking the same elemental language.
So, I'll just leave you with this final thought to really chew on. If things like time and consciousness are not just abstract ideas in our heads, but are actual, fundamental substances, just as real as a rock, how does that change the way you see yourself and your place in this deeply interconnected universe?